Welcome back, everybody. IGN Live at E3 2018. It's time to talk about some very cool games coming to Xbox. Chris Charla is from ID at Xbox, and Maya is the producer and artist on Cuphead, an ID at Xbox game. Let's start off with that. You announced, is it an expansion for Cuphead?
Yeah, a DLC to Cuphead, the delicious last course.
Yes.
So we're finally really excited to come out and announce it. It's going to be a fourth inkwell isle, and we've introduced a third playable character, Ms. Chalice, who is actually the living form of legendary Chalice. And she comes to us complete with a whole new set of abilities and different physics to her movement patterns. And the really cool thing that I at least think it's cool, is that you can go back and play the main game with Chalice and these new abilities. There will be new charms and weapons, so a whole new experience.
Yeah, so you're adding new bosses, new enemies.
Yes, yep.
Is there a whole new, is there a world? Or
yeah, there'll be a whole new inkwell isle, very similar to the other ones, just full of really wacky, crazy, zany bosses, full of animation, packed with brand new music, and some of the toughest bosses yet.
So will 3 people be able to play at once?
No, so yeah,
so
just the 2, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then what is, for the new character, what are some of her new abilities?
Well, we don't want to tease too much of it because it needs to be a surprise, but some people have noticed at the end of our trailer, we put out a little spoiler.
I think there was a little bit, maybe a double jump.
A double jump,
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So she will be very different from how Cuphead and Mugman play. So even if you think that you're really good at some bosses, this is a whole new experience.
Yeah, that's very cool. It's cool to have a new character to go back from, start from the beginning and experience the game in a new way.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
We're coming up, I guess we're a couple months away from the 1-year anniversary of Cuphead's release, is that right?
Yeah, September 29th.
People really like that game. What's been the experience like having the game out there?
Euphoric.
Yeah.
I think just how many years it was in the making and how much energy we really poured our hearts and souls into it. And going from not even knowing if it would elicit a response or if anybody even playing it to what has happened in the last few months has just been a crazy. We can't even really articulate it.
I mean, among your ID at Xbox platform, surely Cuphead is among your most beloved games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cuphead is, in a lot of ways, when we created ID at Xbox, it was for Cuphead. We didn't know about Cuphead at the time, but we knew that we wanted to make a platform that was, or a program that was super welcoming and that brought people in. And our vision has always been, that we want people who have the talent and have the ability and have the willingness to work hard to be able to make a game.
Yeah.
And what we saw in Studio MDHR was people from all sorts of different walks of life, web design and finance and construction, have a vision for a game, learn about some tools that democratize game development, in this case Unity, put that all together along with many years of super hard work. And the result was like a game that is like a modern classic. Like we'll be talking about Cuphead in 20 years, and that it feels awesome. I know it feels awesome for these guys, and for us at Xbox and at ID at Xbox, it feels cool just to be a tiny little part of that.
Cool. So that will be coming in next year, 2019.
Yes.
More Cuphead. All right. Another game that you guys showed during your briefing that looks incredible is Tunic.
Yeah.
What is this game? Tell me about this game.
Tunic is, I mean, you look at it and you can kind of tell. I mean, you've got this beautiful art style, like wonderful lighting, and you've got this little fox who's exploring the world, and you're like, wow, what's going on here with this fox? As soon as I saw this, right, like I fell in love. And then, then the fox discovers, oh, look, there's some enemies, you get some weapons, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is some really exciting, action adventure RPG. Clearly it's got some some Zelda influence.
Yep.
But there's a lot here to discover. They've only shown like a tiny little bit of what's in the game and what's there with the enemies, and there's just so much to discover in this game. I'm super stoked about it.
This game's been kicking around for a while. I think we've seen it at PAX before.
Yeah, they showed it at PAX, and it was one of those moments where you walk into the Indie Mega booth and you're like, okay, Indie Mega booth, what's going to be cool? And like, what is that crowd? And then you look over the crowd and you're like, what is that game? And all of a sudden you just fall in love.
Yeah. Looks amazing. What can you tell us, if anything, about like the premise? Who is this fox? What does the fox want?
I can't tell you much.
Okay.
I think part of the premise is you're going to have to find some of that out when you play the game. So,
dungeons.
Yeah, there's definitely you can see there's dungeons, there's enemies. Like there's going to be a lot in a lot to do in this game. And one thing I know the developers have told us, or the developer, because it's being developed by one person,
it's one of those.
is that what's been shown so far is just a tiny, tiny fraction of what's planned and what's in development already. So there is a lot more to see just in terms of biomes and enemies and bosses, and there's going to be a ton here.
Well, I'm totally on board. What is there a release window for this one?
The future?
In the future?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have a date.
I look forward to the future. Then you guys also showed Black Desert.
Yeah.
Which is an MMO, right? That's been out.
It's been out on PC for a little bit.
Yeah.
Developed by Pearl Abyss in Korea. Super good dev team. And we started talking to them a couple years ago, and they were really excited about the potential of console. So they're bringing the game to Xbox One and Xbox One X, and it looks fantastic. A lot of work's gone into trying to make it feel really nice on a controller. But so, I mean, they've been working on this game for years, and it is such an expansive world with like so much to see and do, so much to do with your character creator.
Yeah.
Like it is going to be just bonkers.
This is the one that's known for having an incredibly detailed character creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in terms of like the main game content, is there anything new that's being added to it?
So they're always working on it. I don't know if there's going to be anything exclusive for Xbox, but they're constantly adding new content to the game. So yeah.
I don't know. Is it a free-to-play game?
No, it's not. It's an MMO, but it's not a free-to-play yet.
Monthly subscription?
No, I don't think so. No, I think just buy it, play it.
Yeah, cool. That's what I like to do with my games.
Yeah, right.
A game that's been a long, long time coming, Below. What's going on with Below?
So Below, they went quiet for a while because they just wanted to focus on the game, but they are back showing the game, and it is just gorgeous, and especially in 4K. You know, what they've done, they're so uncompromising with the game design on that game, and they have a really small character, so in 4K, it just pops, and you really see all the detail. Just even the blades of grass look really sharp and everything like that. So I've gotten to play it recently. It is just amazing, and it's just one of these games where you don't know a lot, like why are you on this island, what are you trying to do, exactly. How do you get there, and there are just secrets within secrets within secrets that you have to get all through to start to figure out like the why am I here, what's the story, what's going on, and so that is just going to be something that is, there's just going to be so much exploration, and hopefully just people talking online about like what does this mean, what does that mean, and there's so many secrets in there. To me, I'm so stoked on playing that.
Is it fair to call that game a roguelike?
I think so, yeah. Okay. Yeah, in terms of just how it works, and it's single death, and it's got this incredible mechanism. There's not a lot of HUD in the game, so like if you get hit, it's one-hit death, right? So you get hit, and you just start to bleed, and you can see yourself bleeding out, and then eventually you die, unless you've got a medical kit, or you can cauterize it or something like that. And I had a gameplay experience where the team had sent me a bunch of screenshots. And one of them was this cool door that's like past this bridge. And I was like, I want to find that. So I'm exploring around. I get hit. I just keep going to the next screen, and I'm there. Like, I've never seen it before. I'm bleeding out, and I'm like, I just have to open the door. So I'm like booking across this bridge, bleeding, like leaving little drops of blood. I get to the door. I'm like, yes, I'm going to... Dead.
Oh,
and it was like,
no.
I literally just like sat down at my desk for a second. I mean, I was at the office, and I just like stood up. It was just like, I'm going home. Yeah. And I just went home, and I actually haven't really played the game a ton since
You're mad at it.
You're
mad at it.
It was like brutal, but also awesome. And so like I think that's the kind of experience people are going to have playing the game. So
I've had my eye on that game for a long time, so it's resurfaced. Are they talking about when it might be released?
Yes, and soon is what they're saying, so that feels good.
That does feel good. All right, there was another game that you focused on the briefing, is that right? Which one was that?
Session.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, so Session is a really cool skateboarding game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, being developed by a great team of guys up in Montreal, and it's just uncompromising skateboarding. Every trick is open at the beginning, and the progression, the play progression is that as you do tricks, as you do your Smith grinds, as you pop ollies, the more you do it, the better you get. And it's got a 2-player mode where the second player is the filmer. So, you're doing tricks, I'm filming, and, I can tell you, like, oh, come over to this box, like, I'm going to get down here, and then I need you to, like, do a 50-50 here, and then shove it, like, and so, to me, that's, like, something that hasn't really been done a ton, and actually, that's what they used to make the trailer. I actually saw on Twitter somebody was like, "Oh, it looks pre-rendered." And it's like, no, dude. It's like, it was like the lead designer doing the tricks and the art director filming to actually make the trailer.
I'm glad somebody's making a skateboarding game.
Absolutely.
We need more skateboarding games.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what would you say sets this one apart from like your Tony Hawk, your skates?
I think it's just uncompromising and kind of the sim nature of it. And you know, even the scoring system. And we asked them early on, like, "Oh, so what's the scoring system going to be?" And they're like, "Make a clip, upload it to Instagram. If your friends liked it, you scored."
Okay.
You know, and like it doesn't have like a lot of the video game conventions in there. It's like it's about having a session with your friends, and if you do something cool, like doing what skateboarders do, which is they upload the clip and show the world.
Yeah, that's cool. Make games skate again. That's what I said right there. Then We Happy Few.
Yeah.
Coming out very soon.
Yeah, it's coming out super soon, and it's super exciting for us because that was a game that like came to Microsoft, it came to Xbox through ID at Xbox, and now is like joined the Microsoft family. And so to us, that's like makes us feel all warm and fuzzy. Like it's really cool.
Well, it's been in game preview for a while.
Yeah, it's been in game preview.
Really like
and
built
then,
out the game.
Yep, and they're fleshing everything out, and that'll be shipping, multi-platform in August. So
that's very exciting. Maya, what are you excited about?
I'm excited to finally be able to announce that DLC and not hide what we're working on anymore. I'm really excited about Below coming out of Capybara Games. That's one of my key ones I'm looking forward to. And We Happy Few, actually. I'm really looking forward to that one.
All these games are Canadian, too.
Sorry?
Canadian?
Those are all Canadian games.
What a coincidence. I wouldn't have known.
So you're a producer and artist on Cuphead as well. What's your contribution on the art side?
So we're a really small team, so that's why a lot of us just wear multiple hats. I'll even throw like janitor in there some days as like a half joke. But so I've inked, so everything in the game is animated on paper with pencil, kind of like they did in the 1930s. We really want to capture the magic of that aesthetic. And so once it's on paper, I go through and clean up any line work that needs to be done. We put a brand new piece of paper on and ink it. So I've inked the whole game, and then it gets sent to coloring.
Say how many pens
I know.
it was.
Chris is like fascinated with the fact that
saved every pen. So every time a pen ran out of ink, she saved it. And I was thinking it was like, maybe like 12 pens, maybe 20 pens.
No, we're over. It's well over 500. I've never counted, but.
What are you doing with them? Are they just in a bin?
I know. I'm not a hoarder. I promise.
Yeah. Okay.
But you develop such a relationship with these. You spend endless hours a day that I'm like, I'm going to keep them just as like
that's cool.
as
it's
a
like
thing.
A cool, like,
so it's just
trophies.
like a bin full of ink pens.
Wow, trophy of game development.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have to do something with them someday. Turn those into some other piece of art.
We'll do it as like giveaways or something like that.
Sure, that's cool. Just a couple minutes left. What else is going on with ID at Xbox?
We have tons and tons of games coming. I think there's more. I know there are more than 1,000 games in development for Xbox One right now coming through the ID at Xbox program. There's some amazing games that we've been showing here, Generation Zero, some other titles, and it just feels like an exciting time for people to be making games.
Yeah, for sure. You're always talking to indie developers. People talk, some indie developers worry about like discoverability. And
Absolutely.
Is that something that you try to help them with?
Of course. We're always trying to promote games, whether it's on our dashboard, in our store, like online, or at shows like E3. Like we showed, I don't know the exact number, but like close to 20 games from ID at Xbox developers on stage at E3. And for us, like independent developers are just a crucial mix of the kind of games that we have on Xbox One. And we're always excited to show off those games and show off great developers so that people can understand like what awesome stuff they can be playing.
Yeah, to that, I mean, like, we wouldn't be where we are today without Microsoft as that vehicle. Like, when we started, it was just eight little bosses, Mega Man style select screen. It would have never been in a montage at E3. Like, that was just such a far-fetched dream. So they definitely enabled us as well.
Very cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage today.
Thanks for having us.
Very much look forward to playing Tunic, Below, playing more Cuphead, Black Desert, and all the rest of the ID at Xbox slate.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Much more to come from E3 2018 here on IGN after this.